Reclaiming Timeless Ways, Mike Traister, Simon Fuller, along with you. Thank you for joining us and welcome to another episode. Mike, let's dive right in and share some great information today. What's our topic?
The next topic is states of mind. And what I was thinking about this week is it's not so much just how we use our mind, it's the ratio. So in other words, you could use, just like your body, right? Let's say you can bench press 500 pounds. How many times?
Sure.
So it's the volume and then it's the duration. It's both, right? So there's got to be, you have to find your organic balance.
Okay.
And it's yours. It's not mine. It's not your grandfather's, right? Or your guidance counselors, or your husband's, or your wife's. It's yours. It's what's healthy for you to be constructive and whole. So one state of mind is focused at work, right? You're working and you're focused. You're producing what you produce. And you do that for, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours a day, 4, 5, 6 days a week, What does work look like to you? It's yours. It's different. It's your work. Encouragement. If you're encouraging others, that's a good thing to do, to a point. Now, what's the nature of the person who you're encouraging? Are they a vacuum cleaner and just sucking you out dry, or are they somebody that honestly needs encouragement? Is your time just being your energy? Time is energy. Is it being extracted from you because you're being maneuvered, or is it somebody who's honestly going through a rough moment? Long moment, short moment, but a moment. Right. It's not how they get their cheap fix, right? You're not their drug. If you are, you need to reevaluate that.
Yeah, how often are you being called upon? Because
right.
There's no question this show, a big part of this show would suggest, and we've said it many, many times, that you don't just say, "Hi, how you doing?" Look
right.
away and right. Off you go, knowing that something's wrong with Mike today.
Right.
I can see it in his eye, his body language, his facial expression. Right. It would be to engage and be a part of the solution
right.
and not part of the problem by not addressing the problem. But now if Mike's every day I'm walking by and he's doing this.
Let me tell you.
So Simon will come in. I mean, that's what you're saying is identify. Right. I bite that worm every time. It's,
you're my best friend. Nobody is as good as you are.
That's right. Okay, I'll come on in. Tell me more, Mike.
A big hook.
But ultimately, you're right, and we want to encourage that, but also you always got to protect yourself. We've heard the phrase,
yes.
You can't help somebody else if you haven't first helped yourself, or if you're not yourself healthy, how can you give to others? It's that balance, and you were talking about that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
it's a balance of all of that.
Balance. This is a wonderful thing. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about other people's religions.
Yeah.
Some of what we see is true, but not all of it. Some of it is cliche, right?
Sure.
So, for example, when Buddha was alive, somebody said to him, "Are you God?" And I'm paraphrasing, and he said, "Well, let me put it this way, no." They said, "Oh, no?" I said, "Absolutely not. You're not God." "No, I am not God." I said, "What are you?" He said, "I'm awake." Huh? Well, think about it for a while. I'm awake. In other words, he's actively paying attention, right? He's in the moment. Yeah. He's paying attention. It's not God.
Right.
Not sort of God, kind of God, sometimes God. God every other Tuesday. Are you God? Like the letters on the side of the hill at Hollywood, 50-foot letters?
Yeah.
No. Right? Ooh, okay. He was awake. So how do you spend your time, your mental time, challenging yourself or others, affirming what is good, criticizing what is bad, So I'm going to stop at that one, at these two, affirming and criticizing, right? Both of those can be very taxing. So you have to set a limit. If you don't have to, but you have to.
Right.
It's because if you don't, you're going to be one fried tomato,
Yeah.
right? Why do that to yourself?
Right.
And if the reason why you do that is because I always did, or I have to, because they tell me or make me feel like I have to, you're accepting that. Do you have to accept that? I'll be bad. You might have to be bad, according to them, right? Or yourself, right?
And again, I see a balance aspect to that.
Right.
I watch my kids in athletics and activities, and my son, he's got a very intense coach.
Okay.
And I love it. And I watch it, and sometimes I look around at others and I wonder what they're thinking, because he's intense, but he's encouraging and corrective. And
Right.
it's the balance. He's got their respect and he builds them up, and he also lets them know when they're not doing something right. It's
Right.
just like a father who can discipline with love. If it's only one way or the other, either giving or receiving, if somebody's only giving you affirmation, there's something not right about that. And if somebody's only breaking you down, there's definitely something not right about that.
Right.
It's the balance of even those two, giving or receiving. And it's just funny, that balance keeps coming up in my head as I'm listening to you talk about these.
Right. Now, just to share with you something about my own style or nature or both, is that now when I talk about these various subjects, I'm being very analytical, very focused, and sometimes confrontational, and hopefully a little bit amusing and useful, I hope. But the other side is you cannot even begin to imagine how much of my day I don't give a flying F about any of this. That I put it away and I watch a funny movie.
Right.
I play with the dog. I sit outside and breathe the air.
Right.
And this is not on my blackboard.
Right.
It's not. I want to do this because I see from the time I've just spent living and parenting and teaching and being a nurse and a counselor, people suffer, and these are useful tools.
Right.
Now you use them. I'm not going to hold your hand and tell you 100 times unless you rewatch a show a couple times, right? But this is not how I spend my time. This is how I spend a little of my time.
Sure. Again, just one of your states of mind.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And one I think is important. So these are what I call regenerative states, right? They're important. And I would say that a good thing of, what do they call it, self-evaluation, or the 12-step guys call it taking your own inventory, I think is the term they use. So these would be like regeneration, sleep, meditation, laughter, entertainment, art, music, self-appraisal, planning, and I'm going to add exercise.
Yeah.
Right? So those would be regenerative states, right? And that's all for that one.
And I'll tell you, those regenerative ones, and we're going to wrap up, but I'm just echoing what you
Please,
said about
please.
your life,
Right,
where you're doing all the fun things
Right.
as you prep for these shows.
right,
The same is true. Most of us are working 40-plus hour weeks.
right.
We're
Right.
talking about balance. You need,
Right.
it doesn't have to be 40 hours of exercise.
No.
But between sleep, exercise, meditation, art, music, entertainment, between all of those other states, they've got to balance that state, or should.
They should.
They need to come close.
Right, and it's not absolute. Your balance points will change.
And for different people, again.
Right,
But you find it, but those are the different tools
right.
to find it, I
And
guess.
I'll bet you could think like in terms of intellectual growth or work or exercise, you can think of different ways that your style has changed,
Sure.
you know?
Right.
Like I do single sets mostly with my weights. I used to do 4 sets.
Right.
You know, well, 4 sets burns me out now, so I just do 1 hard set.
Right.
You know, and I get benefit from that.
Bingo. All right. Well, thank you very much again, Mike. Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Reclaiming Timeless Ways. Until next time, have a great day.